Mine is too.
Hello, and welcome to the e-gathering podcast, where every week we just get together and have a conversation. Sometimes we invite you guys. It's a conversation about our religion, about our faith, about our life in general. I'm Todd Brown. This is Rick Coop. And this is Pastor Allison. And this is Ezra, Mackenzie, and Bella. And we're going to leave it at that. Hey, we're going to do something different this week. These guys went to an event called NYC. NYC is?
Nazarene Youth Conference.
Nazarene Youth Conference. Okay. As you guys know, we're part of the Nazarene denomination. And as a crew, our youth groups will get together. Is that every 4 years?
Changing it to every 3.
Changing it to every 3. Okay, that was
like the next 2 NYC.
Somebody doesn't get left out
because of COVID.
Oh, because people got cheated out of it. But it's like the Olympics. It's youth Christian Olympics. You're quizzed as to whether you know your religion or not, and you're thrown right out if you don't get it right. This week in Christian high jump. No, so not being silly. What's NYC? What is that? What's going on when you go to NYC?
It's kind of like a big gathering. It's like camp. It reminds me a lot of camp because it's more kind of like you do the things you want, but you do it in a fashion with 10,000 different people instead of 200 at camp. So it's kind of like you just spend time doing different things, going out, like a reach out, or staying in Tampa, or doing whatever, and experiencing Christ through a different perspective, such as in a different environment.
Okay.
So it was kind of different. It was like going to this, I was like, okay, what does this even mean? And then coming out, I was like, whoa, that was an experience of a lifetime.
Yeah.
So it was like, it's really cool.
Okay.
Tell me about the reach out. What's that?
So we did a door-to-door event. So we went from, was it partnered with this church, Crossroads Community Church?
So Crossroads on our district actually has a church plant at St. Pete that we went to. So that was kind of cool for our district to be able to go and hang out with this other church. They were hosting a block party. So what did we do?
We went from door to door in this neighborhood, inviting them to that block party.
And we put these little door hangers on their doors.
We got to talk to some of them, so it was kind of cool being...
I liked the social interaction part of
Me too.
Going door to door and putting those hangers on their doors.
Yeah.
So what was what's on the flyer? What was
It had information about the block party that they're having on Saturday.
Okay, all right. Because I just think if it was just like tracks or something, that might weird people out. But that's cool. If you're inviting them to a party, you're inviting them to come do something.
Yeah.
Instead of here's a piece of scripture. I hope you get saved, you heathen.
It was
It's
not
more
like
like come
that.
and come and hang out with us and have a party. And
So on one side of the flyer it had to do with the block party. On the other side it had to do with like Sunday church and Wednesdays and stuff like that.
With
So it was-
information.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I think that the idea behind it was also for students to be able to take home with them that we could do the same thing in our community.
Yeah.
And that it didn't just have to happen in Tampa. So that was cool for me. It was also cool that Pastor Tim Kellerman and his wife walked around with us the entire time. And they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to go door to door with all of our students, but they did.
Yeah.
And it was really hot. Really.
Yeah.
We could have wrung our shirts out at the end.
Yeah. Even halfway through.
It was so hot.
Yeah, it really was.
I was worried for a minute. They said Pastor Kellerman walked around with them the whole time, and I thought, like, the whole time they were there,
Yeah.
like, keep an eye on Muncie Southside.
Oh, yeah.
Like, while you're at
Well, that might
NYC.
have been. That might have been.
Bella, what did you like? You said that it kind of stuck to me about you were able to talk with people. Was that uncomfortable at first, or did you feel like it was just like a natural flow?
For people who aren't like outgoing like me, it was very uncomfortable at first, but I got used to it and it started becoming more like fun and interactive.
So what did you just kind of do a thing where you were just inviting, or did you actually get to talk about your faith a little bit, or a little bit of both? Or
it was just inviting because we had to like a bunch of different parts of like the neighborhoods that we had to go through.
And I think that's kind of neat that it wasn't a thing where, you know, you're trying to beat somebody over the head with the scriptures, but, you know, hey, just come hang out with us a little bit.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we've all talked about it in church, pastors given messages about it where it's talks about building a relationship. Even it might be a relationship that lasts a minute, it might be a relationship that lasts years and years and years.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of cool. You guys were doing that.
So did you guys, when you went through this, I'm sure that you were hanging out with people you don't know.
Yes.
All right. Did you come home with anybody's that you didn't know but now you can stay in touch with?
Yeah.
From there?
Yes. Multiple people.
Okay. So, I didn't think of that as a yes/no question. So what's that? What do you? When I say that, I think of it like you're not pen pals, but like what? Facebook friends, Twitter, Snapchat.
Yes.
Okay. See, it's funny when I think Facebook is an old people thing.
They're going, what's a pen pal?
What's a pen pal? No, that's what I'm saying. I knew it wasn't that. That's what I knew. I knew I was off on that. But
The email.
Yeah.
Yeah, we emailed back
you
and
actually
forth.
do still email.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
No.
That nobody
No.
even does that anymore.
it's mostly through
Not that
social
many
media now.
words. Not reading a long email.
It's mostly through social media now.
Okay. All right. So, Ezra, what was the thing that stuck out for you out of going to NYC?
I would say just definitely like how friendly the other youth groups were. Like I feel like with me it was kind of like I met some new people in my hotel and they just kind of like they just stuck with like the entire youth group just kind of stuck with us the rest of the time.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool.
You bonded over your late night Taco Bell
Yes.
DoorDash.
Oh no! First night at work, ate
Definitely.
McChickens.
Oh, that was good.
It was so good. No,
they ordered Taco Bell,
Yeah, we
too.
DoorDash every single night.
Okay. Yeah. Hey.
It's the little things.
Some little things that make you happy.
Well, but
Especially food.
when you find somebody that you can talk to and they're just not really weird or
Yeah.
threatening or something, you're like, you grab a hold of that person
Sure.
and stick with them
Yeah.
the rest of that week, right?
And it's easier to talk to people that you're unfamiliar with because they don't know your home story. Like, they don't know how you
They
are.
know
They just
where you
see you how in the moment, like the first time. They didn't see you, 5 years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool to see that all these people, because I met like so many people, but I don't really talk to them. So it's like, I saw them and I was like, okay, they're really cool. And then here we are. I don't talk to them. But still, it was cool because I didn't hear their backside. I just saw that one moment and it was quite amazing to see those kind of things.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, you don't. We talk about from time to time the fact that you guys growing up as teenagers now versus growing up as teenagers for us, so much of what we did was over the day we did it. Whereas you guys, that stuff, it's forever.
Yeah.
There's pictures of it.
It's awesome.
And it goes on and on. So it was nice to meet some people that are like, I'm starting fresh.
Yes.
Then you know me now, who I want to be now. Yeah.
Right.
I didn't think about that perspective. So, of the events and things that went on, I hear there was some really good music.
Yes.
I love the music.
Me too.
What was your favorite act that was there? Can you pick one?
I can't pick one.
Okay, who'd you get to see? How about that?
Like-
What acts were there?
Are you talking about
Bands.
worship or the
Concerts.
like
You're
there were
talking
there
about
were
worship
there was
or-
worship and then there were concerts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
All of it. Yes. All of it. Yeah.
our like worship team kind of thing before sermons, it was Royal Company.
Yeah.
And then we saw Blessing Offer, Lecrae
For King.
for King Country, and
Oh, I like
it
that.
was
Yeah.
really good.
Zach
The guy.
Williams.
Zach Williams.
Yeah,
Exactly. We might
The
have
one
went to go
we-
get ice
Ice
cream.
cream,
No,
yeah.
we
We
didn't
lost
like
our
me,
seats.
but like we couldn't find seats, and so we went to go get ice cream instead.
I remember I watched Zach Williams
But-
like a year ago at one of the Anderson churches.
The hard part was for the seating, everyone had assigned seatings for the services.
Yeah.
And so
And
the
that
night
was
that
the
we
first.
were on the floor,
And then they don't.
whenever you're on the floor in the evening service, once the evening service ended, they would just tell you to go find seats up in the stands, which was like nosebleed seats because
Because
everyone was already in their seats around, and because the floor was reserved for anyone whose wristband lit up for the concert. So if your
Which
wristband,
yours did.
It
for
did.
Lecrae.
I definitely left our students probably more quickly than I'd like to admit.
Love you, gotta go.
She looked out. She's like, she jumped
Actually,
out.
I was talking. I know
She
that's shocking
screamed,
that I was
jumped up,
talking.
and sprinted down there.
Yeah, let's just
Well, when it happened, I wasn't paying attention, and somebody was like, "Your wristband lit up," and I was like, "Bye, guys!" I just ran.
Bolted out.
Bitch does.
I was like, "I'll meet you outside after the concert." I
There were
love
no
Lecrae.
exchange of words before she left us.
Yes,
She
there were.
No, there
No.
were not.
Very little. Maybe my wristband's going. I
think she
gotta
said,
go.
"Oh my gosh."
Maybe that's
but
it.
I swear, I don't think she said anything. She was like, "Oh my gosh."
She
You
said,
might be
oh my
right.
gosh,
I
screamed
was
and then
so blinded
sprinted
by-
down there.
Yeah, well.
I'm surprised.
But I bet all you saw was phone screens.
Do what?
I bet all you saw was phone screens down there.
No, it wasn't bad down there.
That's good.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It probably was hot.
I jumped
People
way
were-
more than I should.
All
have.
the people were basically on top of each other.
Yeah, it was fun though. But so the night of Zach Williams and Blessing Offer, we were gonna have to be way up in the nosebleeds, and it's just not always real fun to watch a concert in the nosebleeds. So we decided to go get ice cream instead.
That might sound terrible, but
So our entire group, it was really fun though because we got to take a walk, and we actually met one of the speakers on the way.
yes.
What was his name? It started with an L.
Lamora.
Yes,
Yes.
Lamorris Crawford, and
He was my
did.
favorite,
Yeah,
definitely.
I
he
loved
was the
him.
first speaker that they had, and we saw him several times.
We were
throughout
yeah,
the
we
week.
did.
And he was kind of shy, which was funny.
And it's this like big, like spirited guy, and he was
Yeah.
like on stage, and then when you meet him, he's like, "Hey."
There's a lot of people like that.
It's just
Who
so
are-
interesting.
Introverts, and then you put them on stage, and they have
There
what,
they go. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
what God has put in their heart to deliver, and then here it
Definitely.
comes.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so Lamorris
Crawford.
Lamorris Crawford.
Crawford.
Yes.
Okay. my old brain went Lamorris Day in the Times.
Which one was he?
Completely different show.
Do the dance.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's first.
You're probably on your phone.
Probably.
So if you were trying to think of a reason, like a reason to try and convince somebody else that they should go, what would be your thing? What would you say, Bella? It would be a reason for another high school student to go.
I would say, and from my experience, it was really eye-opening to see all the people worshiping God and accepting God. And
Even noticing God.
yeah,
And stopping their life for a little bit
yeah,
to be there all together.
it was really cool.
Stopping the reality.
When I was a part of a group called Promise Keepers for a long time. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but I went to one of their conventions, and for me, it was looking out over people and realizing that even though I'm in my own little group, when I get home, there's this big world of believers
Yes.
out there, and it really became real for me at that moment that that we had speakers come to my church from other places and stuff, so you kind of knew. But I was at Washington D.C. when they had one of their biggest, and as it led out, the streets were filled with believers.
It's good to
Did
see.
you guys have a similar experience where it just hit you that, hey, this is big? This is,
Yeah, I would. I mean, even if we weren't doing anything and there was just this big crowd of people walking down the side of the roads, you know where we were. We were all involved. So if you saw one person, there was a group of people behind you. It's like, it's cool, even if you were just walking down the street. It was really nice to see. Just seeing this group of believers just walking down the street innocently, going to the store. Like, it was,
Yeah.
that's just little things.
The dead giveaway though was the shirts.
Yeah.
Sure.
The matching shirts
Yeah.
that everybody
Yeah,
had
if you
on.
see a different group of these shirts and you see a different group of those shirts.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Ezra, did you have a particular band or group that you? enjoyed the most?
I can't remember the name. It's the two Australian guys or whatever.
For King Country.
Yeah,
For King Country, yeah.
They were
Who was
probably,
it, like in the cage?
yeah, I feel like that was probably the most impressive one.
Yeah, that was
They're so
Yeah. It's
big
yeah,
and
they're-
full. I mean, it's just two Australian guys, but it's also they bring such
bring
a
a
big
show.
sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
Very loud. I'll say that much so.
Yeah.
Very, very loud.
Standing. I know for me, we used to have a choir of the fire. Do they even still do that?
I'm not sure.
Okay. I know for me, standing in a group and the Promise Keepers thing, standing in a group of thousands of people all singing the same worship song and really getting into it in those moments, just sort of being in touch with the Spirit.
Yeah.
Like that many people in a room doing that, it's kind of overwhelming.
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, you've been to youth events before. Have you been to anything like that before? Anything of that size from a worship perspective?
Not something that
No.
size.
What is it about that makes it, for somebody who hasn't been there, I guess that's who we're talking to right now, is for somebody who hasn't been there, what is it about that makes it different or powerful for you?
Definitely the age group.
Yeah, most
The what?
definitely.
The age group.
The age
They're all in
group.
high school.
These either preteens or
Preteens to teenagers.
leaving school. Come and gather, and it's like these 10,000 broken students trying to find where their life even is.
Yeah.
Whether it's down a hill that they don't think it is, or it's up in the cloud where they hope to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
So you just see different levels of lives. So it's either you see these ones that it's like you barely see a section of, or it's these that people will share everything because they're so proud of it.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was kind of in the middle because I think I was unknown of where I was. And I was okay to share that because I'm okay with not knowing where my life's taking me next. And I was not worried about it
Yeah.
because I'm 15 years old going to these
Thank you.
events, arms wide open praising God.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see all these different perspectives of people's lives.
It can be overwhelming, but at the same time, you were saying that preteens and teens being there. I think the thing about that is they didn't have to stand up and worship.
They did not.
They could sit down. They could go wander in the halls or whatever and do something else. If mom and dad aren't here, I can do what I want.
There's definitely
there's-
kids there though. That did that.
What's that?
Well, there's definitely kids there that were doing that though.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure of it. But then you look around and you see the other people who
Yeah.
are worshiping.
Yeah.
There's so many of them there who don't have to.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I think one of the things I think of for you guys that is coming up is when you leave home and you go be a carpenter or you go be a plumber or you go to college to be a psychologist or a doctor or a teacher or whatever. When you go to do that, there's going to come a point when you get to decide what your religion is. Where you love your mom and dad, and the whole Jesus thing is cool, and you think that's great, that's what their thing is. But, well, I mean, but by the time when you walk out of that house, and they leave you at the dorm or your apartment or whatever, you get to decide. And so it's those moments like what you just went through, where you can go, those people in that room, that's like level one of getting to make that decision yourself, right?
Yeah.
You got to make that decision yourself. I can worship here, or I can just dig the music, or I can go hang out in the hallway.
Right.
There's only one
a
Allison.
decision you
She
can
can't
make.
catch us all if we run.
Yeah, not that
She can
fast.
try.
So this church that you go to, I know I've asked you this question. I feel like I've asked you this question 3 different ways. I'm about to ask you a third different way. But for this church, when they send a group of kids like you to NYC, what do you think you'd want them to know about what's going on there? I don't know if it's a whole lot different than what you've already said, right?
Not really. Like, kind of like the same things.
There are, I was going to say this earlier, we kind of moved on, but I want to bring it back. I did not grow up in a Christian home whatsoever. I mean, there was Occasionally my mom would drop us off at Vacation Bible School, see you later, and then it was done, after that week. So I guess maybe a different way to ask this question, but I'm really searching here. I'm looking for an answer from you guys. Because I feel like there's a part of me that missed that time of being able to go and experience what you guys did. So, so try to imagine in your minds a much younger me, more your age. And I'm saying, why would you guys even want to go to that? What's the big deal? Because I haven't experienced it. So, and I'm going to ask you each individually, okay? Ezra, if you and I were having this conversation and I'm your age and I haven't had any church experience, and we're sitting together at lunch at school, and you're telling me, man, it was so cool, we did it, and I'm thinking like, so what's so cool about that? So tell me what was cool about it that you would want me to go with you in 3 years.
Okay, so I have two things.
Okay.
So one is like, if I'm trying to convince somebody to go, I wouldn't really give them like a real reason to. I'd just be like, go because you might find something there that you didn't know you were looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
And then for that, so, okay, I lost track of what I was going to say. But, because I was thinking about what I was going to answer the first one, and I was like, what was the,
Well, tell me why, in 3 years you would invite me to go to maybe find that thing that I didn't know I was looking for.
I would definitely, I would kind of start with the experience. I would probably try to like, I would invite you with me to like experience it with me, kind of like, because it's not a whole lot of fun when it's just by yourself though. I feel like there's definitely times for it and like times to be with a group of people. I feel like if you're young with a group of people, you're gonna definitely get a lot more out of it.
Yeah.
Because you get a lot more perspectives of like what people are going through and like their own journey, because you could relate to people in a lot of ways.
Your first answer knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Your second one I like. I love your second answer. But you had it right up front. I mean, that, something you don't even know you're looking for. I'm telling you, it's there. And then we tell people all the time to share our content. Like if you put something online, share it. But it's because if it's some churchy thing, nobody cares about that. But if Ezra says, "Well, just come be with me. Let's just go be together and do this thing. It'll be fun." Then you hope that they get hit by a Holy Spirit torpedo while they're there. And you're good
I'll
with
be
it,
honest,
right?
I definitely did not go because I wanted to go, but I'm glad I did.
Yeah, there you go.
I was definitely kind of putting it off, trying to avoid stuff at the beginning, but it got a lot different towards the end.
I got to tell you, brother, get used to that, because there's going to be times when you're going to not want to go places that are going to be, how do I put this, spiritual. There's something spiritual happening.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh man, it would be so much easier just to stay home or to do this thing or that thing. And then you go anyway, and then it's like, I wouldn't have missed that for the world.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I went.
Yeah.
Same question then, Kenzie.
So I'm a person that kind of like hide in comfort. So like if it's not like a comfort in my bubble, I probably won't even enter it. So this was kind of like one of those things. So I would say kind of like keep your expectations low. Never say never. Just be involved. Go out. Be seen by people who you probably won't see again. You are there for the Lord, not just to use information there, but to bring it home. And I learned a couple things, and one of them is there was this song that, what was it? It was like Firm Foundation. So it was talking about like keeping your foundation firm on the rock. I mean, it's not just to travel to these popular cities and do all these things, but it was just a cool experience. And I would say, like, I would have to agree with Ezra with his first statement. And a lot of those connect and kind of answers all combined to one main answer, which is hard to state because it's like there's so many right answers. There's no wrong.
Sure.
Absolutely.
You come back with a story that everyone's is going to be different. Whether you find Christ, whether you continue to be involved in Christ, or you're learning more about Christ. And I think those are the three kind of like bold moments. As for me, I got a call to ministry. I sure did.
Oh,
Awesome.
good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I think it's a struggle to know what to think.
Yeah.
And I've been praying about it, thinking about it. So hoping that it's a groove in my life to where I can follow.
Awesome.
Do me a favor. You know Brittany, my daughter, right?
Yes.
Okay, Pastor Brittany, you know her.
Yep.
She went to Olivet with a 5-year plan. She was going to be a child psychologist.
Yeah. It's a mess.
Majoring in was art therapy for kids to get things out of them
Yes.
through art therapy. So just don't come a 5-year plan. That's how it's going to go. And then she went to a camp as a counselor for kids out of Shiloh.
Yeah.
And after her first year, and the Lord said, "Hey, excuse me,
That's right.
I have a different plan. But I have a 5-year plan. I'm only 1 year in.
Yes.
How do we do this?" So there's a lot of ministry means a lot of things, right?
Yes.
So I know for her, then that gave her 3 more years to kind of sort that out,
Yeah.
right? And so call her. She'd love to hear from you.
I'm sure.
And she won't go and put you in a headlock and it has to be children's ministry.
Yes.
It could be, I don't know, Kenzie, it could be golf ministry.
Oh,
I
I'm
mean,
sure.
it literally could be sports related ministry, but on the other hand, if that's what makes you comfortable, God will probably not let you do that. But for her, she wanted to go into child psychology and counseling for kids. So he's like, "You're good at that, so this is what we're doing." I don't know what he did, but I know what he called her to was children's ministry. Anyway, call her. She'd love to hear from you.
Okay.
Okay.
Bella, I haven't forgot you. All right, so we're having donuts on Sunday morning. Little donut house.
I would just say go, because even if you don't really want to, because it's an experience of a lifetime and you don't know what like you're gonna experience. Like Kinsey said, she got to experience a lot of things, and it's just really eye-opening to see all of that.
I gotta say, watching you three talk about your individual experiences, for you, I think it was really humbling. You met something there that changed some inside. For you, it was very emotional. You feel like this call's been put on your life. You were smiling the whole time, and so the experience for you was a very freeing, open experience that I think was cool. Go ahead.
I would just say that it was very nerve-wracking because it's way out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
To do something like that, let alone be on an airplane. It was my first airplane ride ever.
Yeah, I
To
remember
be
seeing
without my parents on my first airplane
Yeah.
was kind of nerve-wracking, but it was really cool to experience all of that.
And I'm sure being around teenage boys, they were very comforting and helpful.
Oh, I'm sure.
They were very nice about
Supportive.
it. No jokes, no poking at you.
Big brother.
I sat with Allison the whole time, so.
Okay, well, there you
And
go.
we initiated some airplane karaoke with Taylor Swift.
Yes,
That
we
was
did.
you guys? No, because I'm in the back of the airplane with Jackie, White, and me. So we have things down. We're all sleeping like this. We just hear Taylor Swift, like 50 people just blaring. And so we sit up like, what is going on?
You missed it.
Allison and Kirsten started it all.
Of course.
Well, listen, when you're on an airplane full of teenagers and there are like maybe 4 or 5 other people that we don't know, you have to have fun.
I bet
That's never gonna happen again.
I bet the flight attendants really
Was it
enjoyed our singing.
I'll bet they did.
Yeah.
I'll bet they did. A little silly beats the stuffings out of aggravated,
Yeah.
frustrated business people
Yeah.
who are on
I'm not
there.
gonna lie to you.
Not
I was
giving them
sitting
grief.
with the baby crying in the back lot.
Oh my gosh.
Poor Josie, she had to sit next to that
Yeah.
baby.
No.
I gotta sit next to a puppy.
Well, Bella told the lady I was sitting next to that she's sorry for me because I talk a lot.
Wow.
I know she did.
She said she
That was
actually
at, like-
talks like this
No.
all the time.
That was at like 2 in the morning.
It was like
When-
7.
No, I swear.
Still, people are tired.
So we were really
Like
tired
me.
on our flight home because we got back to the hotel at like 11 and we had to get packed up and leave the hotel by 2
Yeah, so everybody
a.m.
just
So there
stayed
was
up.
no
Everybody
reason
just
to
stayed
go
up.
to
Went
sleep.
sleeping.
Yeah, we had to be at the airport by like 3.
And of course,
3:30.
me, I was the only one up in my little hotel room, so I had to wake everybody up. And I
That's
stayed
mature.
up the entire night.
That was the most responsible you
Yeah.
were at getting up.
No, I literally told them, y'all better get up because if y'all don't, I'm going back to sleep.
Well, I wasn't responsible getting up.
Yeah.
It was I wasn't asleep.
Yeah, I wasn't
So-
asleep.
Usually it was.
Y'all gotta
"That's
get up
not
so I
wake
don't
you
get in
up."
trouble.
Yeah, the whole week we were struggling at this one or Wyatt out of bed
Yeah.
or remotely even out of
No, we
their
had to be
room.
there at 8:15 when we got up at 8 every single morning.
Ooh.
Yeah, we were
When
cutting
Allison had certain times she wanted us to be downstairs
But
to
there was
go
most
get
of the time I'd
breakfast.
like push the time. I'll be like, be there 5 minutes late. Because none
I
of
got
us
in
were
trouble
running on time.
one time, and Jackie was in there like 10 minutes after me, and I was still getting yelled at. I'm like,
Pastor, I want to ask you, what did you see of your kids?
Oh man, I saw.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
No,
here.
yeah, I saw individual things in each of them.
Yeah.
But I think like overall, what I saw from before we left to coming home was, for starters, a church that invested in our students, and that not just financially, but in prayer and in letters. They wrote letters to
That was so
them.
cute.
They and that was neat. When we got there, we got to open up the letters and read through them, and it was just intentional, and I loved that. Of course, we had several of the moms who made water bottles and put little fun stuff
Yeah.
in them.
my mom actually wrote me an entire letter.
Yeah.
For like 20 minutes to read it.
How sweet of her.
Was it in cursive or?
No, it was just like. It was like the way she worded things. I had to keep like I was like 12 at night because I finally opened it. I was like going back. I was like, wait, what's that mean? And it was probably like only half a page. But like,
Oh man.
you know.
But one thing I love is to see students taking steps towards owning their faith, just like you were talking about, Pastor Todd. It's really cool as their youth pastor to experience that and watch them talk about a call to ministry and thinking about my own call to ministry and how I went to school to be a veterinarian. So
Here we are. And you felt
yeah, here I am.
chemistry or biology or whatever
I
it
could
was.
not see that. I couldn't see it.
What?
Are you saying I'm not smart enough?
No, I'm just
or-
saying like you with animals. I
I love animals.
I've never seen it.
Okay.
Oh,
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
It really wasn't that big of a shift.
Yeah.
It really
It
wasn't that big of a
the
shift.
leap was only about like this, guys.
it
That's
wasn't.
okay.
It was just a
Oh,
step. It was
I'll
just,
remember that. Don't you worry, I'll remember that.
And there were definitely like moments in our group where there was tension of trying to figure out like there's anxiety because there's 10,000 other people and
Yeah.
like you don't think about how huge that is, but there were times when like just getting lunch was like anxiety inducing.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
All the people in the hallways.
Yeah.
This much room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walking.
no, I swear. You scoot up a little bit. They're just.
It took me
Yeah.
quite literally like maybe 15 minutes to even find somewhere to get food because
Because you couldn't see around people.
Yeah, that was
I
rough.
could see around people.
And I think that my favorite food was when we went to that shop and had like the pizza and the sushi.
Oh, the grocery store.
It's so weird.
Hey,
Because like they
pizza.
sold like
Pizza
literally like
and sushi?
pizza, like they had a whole aisle of like pre-made food.
That pizza
That-
was good.
That pizza was so good. Like it was actually like it was a grocery store pizza that was actually good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it may have been like $6, but for one slice, the slice was like that big.
It was. They were big
Yeah.
slices. Yeah.
It was so
Where
worth it.
sushi was really good.
Grocery store sushi, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was something I don't know,
Hey,
but it was good.
just put plenty of soy sauce and wasabi. It's good.
Yeah.
Doesn't
We
matter.
ended up taking a couple trips down to that grocery store to get other things.
Sure
The
did.
necessities.
I think I got sushi twice actually. I think I got the same. No, I tried a different one. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they had three different stacks of them. And just, I really like sushi. So.
Okay,
I mean,
so what was your favorite? Okay, now that was awfully serious. What was your favorite silly thing that happened while you were there?
gosh.
Game, silly thing
Oh.
that you can tell people at the church. Okay.
Please tell them about the aquarium.
What? Let's not talk about the aquarium.
Oh, yes. All right.
Oh, it was fantastic.
If you
So-
don't tell them, I will.
Wyatt, I was just standing there. Wyatt tried to jump over me, and his
Tried.
boots got caught on my shoulders, and he took. He face planted into the ground, and I landed on my knees, skinned my knees a little bit, and it hurt very much. And I ended up dying.
He tried to jump over you while you were standing up?
She
Yes.
was
He thought he was going to be able to make it because apparently I'm short.
Well.
It's like a thing that students do, like, see how high I can jump, and
Yeah.
Wyatt let his intrusive thoughts win,
Yes.
and he thought...
And I just so happened to be the target.
Okay.
But it was like a domino effect, because it was like Bella, Wyatt, Allison.
Wyatt, like,
or no, it was
flew
like
over the top
Wyatt,
of her.
Bella, Allison. And then Wyatt jumps over Bella, knocks Bella over, falls, face plants, and he
plants.
grabs my ankles at the same time.
Wait,
So-
we're in the middle of an aquarium with 10,000 students
Yes.
Uh-huh.
in it. So there's this swarm of people walking around us.
And there are
They're just
large
like,
people
what is
with
happening?
It hurt
with
very
mace
much.
on their
Oh,
belts
gosh,
trying
so hard.
to ask you to leave.
That was not funny.
You
That
must,
was so
you must
funny.
say
That was
that's
hilarious.
I'm sorry, that was
That
funny.
was not funny.
It was funny.
It hurt.
Okay, what else?
Okay, I think my
Silly
favorite part.
something.
So it was like 12 at night. We forgot we were blaring music. Okay, so we were blaring music.
Oh,
So actually our NYC remember the Shiloh camp director? He came to our door. Was like, hey, turn the music down. We can hear it from the youth pastor section. Like, we didn't realize it was that loud, but the doors were like
Yeah,
we heard everything through them.
Yeah.
We lost the remote. We were looking for it for 20 minutes. Then
They think
3
you're
people.
not complying.
Yeah, the NYC guy, the Shiloh Park, Andrew, and then another guy. They came knocking on our door
Sure.
with 5 students, and I opened the door. I'm like, I'm sorry, I lost the remote. And then just as I said that, Dylan, he was a part of the other youth group. He goes to the Broken Church, or I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
Broken
He
Church.
finds it,
Broken
turns
Church.
it off, and yells, "I'm sorry." And they're like, "Okay," I just walk away. And then I think the next morning, Andrew came by, knocked on our doors, and he was like, "Just a reminder, make sure you guys don't have music too loud." And then we didn't have some music for the rest of the time. We were like,
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
yeah,
Me too.
We were. I was waiting to
This
say
we were on
something.
a need-to-know basis, lady.
I was like, I don't want to get in trouble, so
Oh, man.
yeah, it was
What
great.
about you?
And then, so probably my favorite thing, which was silly. There was a rec hall event, so there was a bunch of different booths and stuff. There was this thing called silent disco.
Oh gosh.
There was so many people doing it, so you put on headphones and you just dance in this area. And I was not involved in it, but watching these people dance is hilarious
With
because
no
it's you
music?
don't know what they're hearing. They
It's
hear
like dancing with Bluetooth headphones on.
Yes, it was so funny.
Nobody else can hear it but
So
you.
there was, I think it was me, Maddie, and Lexi, and someone else, and we were just hanging out, and we were watching it, and it's just, these people were trying to recruit us to do it. We were all not gonna happen.
No thanks.
We just wanted to watch.
Come over here and watch for a while. You'll see why we don't want to do it.
Yeah. So it was just funny seeing all these people's dancing when they were really bad, because we couldn't tell, we didn't even hear the music. So it was they're the only ones who heard it, and we're just seeing them dance to nothing. So it was hysterical. That's really one of my favorite things to watch. So I bet we found a lot of entertainment and laughs out of that.
I
Yeah.
can tell you don't have rhythm, and I don't even know what you're listening to.
Yeah.
Yes, most definitely, because they were all doing very different things.
I got one more thing that happened. So one night we DoorDash some Taco Bell. Okay, so it gets here really early. It's the same exact thing we have. So we look at the receipt. It says Ryan on it. Nobody in the room is named Ryan.
But it was your order?
Yes, but it was our same exact
Same
order.
order.
So we called the head, the little desk area. We're like, hey, this isn't ours. They're like, well, we can't come get it because they already dropped it off to you. And so at that moment, Dylan gets a text from the DoorDash guy saying he's here with our order.
Yeah!
So he comes in, he drops it off. So we have two full bags of Taco Bell. And I mean, this is the four like what are they called, crunch wraps, like 2. It's like the big orders. And so I have 4 crunch wraps.
You were up to the challenge.
Yes. Oh, I was up to the challenge.
Yeah.
And then so we didn't even order drinks with our first one, and we got drinks dropped off. So all of us had a drink. So essentially, we got like drinks for free, another bag for free, and then like literally we called the desk area, and they said that they couldn't take it back just because it was already dropped off.
You tried.
Yeah.
You tried.
We did
to
try.
do the right thing. That's
I
right.
tried to do the right
took a
thing, but it
taco.
didn't work.
Well, we figured we should try, and they said they couldn't take it back, so we just ate it. And it actually turns out that Janae actually knew who Ryan was, too. So we definitely could have got it to him, but we didn't. We just ate it.
Yeah, it would have been cold.
Yeah,
It would have been wrong.
exactly. Like,
Would have been wrong.
Eat half the order and give it after.
Yeah.
we should just give him a receipt. Like, hey, we each talked
Look,
We already touched it, man.
Sorry, he came to our door. It was already empty.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Okay, Miss Allison. Anything else you guys want to cover? Anything else jump to your mind?
Not that I can think of.
Rick?
Okay.
All right.
getting lost 3 times.
All right. Guys, thank you for coming
Cool.
over
Thank
to
you
us.
for having
very
us.
much.
All right. Hey guys, thank you for sticking
Thank
with
you.
us. Do me a favor, if you stuck with us till the end, and give us a like. It helps us. Follow us, subscribe if you really like it. We really appreciate it. We'll talk at you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.